Vintage alert! I'm not messing around. I'm being serious. This is a vintage alert, not a drill. 5 vintage slabs in this box. You know the rules. I know what these issues are. I don't know what the grades are. You're getting my reaction on this video for the first time live. Want to thank you for all the suggestions on videos. If you missed my last unboxing video, talked about how I'm in this weird stage here where I want to get stuff graded by PSA, and yeah, for sure, but that stuff's not coming back for a while, probably toward the end of the year. I only got a couple of boxes in the pipeline left with CGC. What am I going to do? You guys sent me a ton of great suggestions. I'm never going to be able to use them all, but you'll start seeing those videos. If you have more suggestions, keep throwing them my way. I'll take more suggestions. These are not facing the right way. So you'll start seeing those videos, and again, if you have more suggestions, drop them here. I did come up with an idea. I tried to time it perfectly. I knew when PSA was going to announce, so I kind of tried to keep enough boxes in the CGC pipeline to get me to when I thought issues would come back from PSA, and unfortunately PSA has their supply chain issues with their magazine slabs, and that's what's going to be delaying things here. But if you got more suggestions, absolutely, drop them here in the comments. Would love to see those. What I am going to do is send a few more boxes to CGC, but they're going to be really strategic in why I'm sending those to CGC. It's not just because I want to keep doing unboxing videos, although that's reasonable. So look for those. I'll have some in the future, and then in the meantime, we'll just fill with some random videos of some cool stuff, fun stuff about this hobby that we can talk about. Okay, Sport Magazine, guys, this is your Super Bowl right here. I got a lot of Sport magazines in this box. Let's see. We're talking we're talking 2 from Mickey Mantle. 2 slabs from Mickey Mantle. I got a Hank Aaron, which is a great story on that issue. I have maybe one of the best personal stories in all of baseball. And man, that's a tall tale. I just set the bar pretty freaking high by saying that. But it is one of my absolute favorite stories in all of baseball, so we'll talk about that and see that athlete's first Sports Illustrated cover. And then another sport magazine. So what is it? 3 sport and 2 Sports Illustrated. So this is going to be a great box. It's all vintage. I'm sorry. There's no chance of the 9.8 button appearing in this video. It's been a minute since I've had a 9.8, but that's what makes 9.8 special. It'd be boring. Like getting a 9.8 was easy. There'd be no 9.8 button. There'd be no dance music and rave and all that sort of fun. It'd be boring. So, you know, we're not going to get a 9.8 in every box, and certainly not going to get one in this box with all these vintage issues. Okay, let's get started. 5 slabs up first. Pretty good. Okay, pretty good. Not bad. 7.5 on a Mickey Mantle Sport. Look, that's a beautiful. Okay, let's talk about sport. This is where you get my sport magazine rant. And I get it. There's lots of guys out there that collect sport magazine. That is awesome for you. I fully support it. You knock yourself out. To me, it will always be Sports Illustrated's little brother. Doesn't mean there's not some cool stuff there that I want. And it's got to be interesting, and it's got to be visually appealing for me to do that. And this checks those boxes. Mickey Mantle, look at that shot. He's sitting on one knee, got his Yankees cap off, blue sky behind him. Visually stunning in this issue. So this came out on April 1969. Pop reports, there's a 9.2, a 9.0, and an 8.5. Projected this at 7.0, so one notch above my projection. Love that. This was Mickey Mantle's retirement issue. Mantle announced his retirement March 1st of that year, so this came out just weeks later in the April edition. You know, by 1966, Mickey Mantle's injuries had caught up with him big time. In 1968, he only hit .237 with 18 home runs and 54 RBIs. The 1968 season was so bad, his lifetime average fell below 300. He finished, his lifetime batting average is .298. When he retired, he was the Yankees' all-time leader in games played at 2,401. That record stood for 43 years until Derek Jeter broke it in 2011. So a very cool issue of Sport Magazine. I love this clip that we're going to take a look here. This is Willie Mays and Mickey Mantle being interviewed on a talk show. I thought this was fantastic and had to play this. So check this out right here.
Friday Ford was cheaters. You know why? Let me tell you something about these two guys. They came to San Francisco on a. You remember the time we played the World Series out there in 1962?
Yeah, 62, right,
okay.
Yeah.
They went to the golf course, okay, and they signed everything on my boss's name. Everything. Golf shoes, golf clubs. Now, my boss wouldn't take no money.
Hard-stone them?
Hard-stone them. Now, the bet was, and I didn't know anything about it, if you strike out Willie, the bet's off, okay? Now I come to bat, Whitey gets 2 strikes on me.
Whitey Ford had never gotten him out in an all-star game in his life or anywhere. He's hitting like 490 off of Whitey, you know. So they bet Toots Shore and Stoneham.
Stoneham bet,
make it bet. And anyway, Whitey finally got him out.
You know what he threw me? The biggest spit in. It dropped this far. Now the key to that, I'm looking right across Whitey's head, and I see Mickey jumping up and down out there, and I don't know what he's doing it for.
Fun interview. I've never seen that one before, so I wanted to include it in an unboxing video. Mickey Mantle, Sport Magazine, 1969, the retirement issue at 7.5. Beat the projection. We're off to a pretty good start. If I could just beat projections on the rest of this box, there's going to be a happy Jim. Next up. Ooh. I'm a sucker for vintage ads, especially vintage cigarette ads. Just because you don't see cigarette ads anymore, especially in print like this. But man, the great Marlboro ad on the back. The cowboy, rodeo, like a man smoking Marlboro Reds. Oh, love everything about it. Okay, up next. Oh, well, isn't that nice? Oh, that's fantastic. And much better than my projection. Man, that's a clean copy of this one. Okay, this is great. Hank Aaron, the famous 715. This came out on April 15th, 1974. There is one 9.8 in existence. I do know who owns that. Shout out to you. Congratulations, my man. I won't reveal your name, but that is an amazing piece. One 9.8, 0 at 9.6, one 9.4. There are 5 at 9.2. Projected this at 7.5. So again, one notch above my projection, which I love. Years ago, if you go back on my YouTube channel, I'm sure you'll find it somewhere. But years ago, I did a kind of what I thought was an interesting video at the time where I listed like the top 10 or top 20 most collectible Sports Illustrated issues where it's not somebody's first cover. So another great example of this would be the 1991 Sports Illustrated cover featuring the Dream Team with Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson and Karl Malone, David Robinson, all those guys, Barkley. It was nobody's first cover, super collectible issue. This one was definitely on the list. Again, not Hank Aaron's first cover, but obviously one of the most iconic moments in the last 100 years of baseball, his 715th home run, breaking Babe Ruth's record. Such a beautiful cover. I love how clean it is. We get Sports Illustrated, and the only headline is just 715. Just looks absolutely beautiful. So keep this in mind. Hank Aaron has been retired for 50 years and still holds the Major League Baseball records for RBIs, extra base hits, and total hits. He also still holds the record for most All-Star game appearances at 25 and most All-Star games played in at 24. Shocking stat that 50 years after he retired, he still holds all those records. Obviously one of the greatest to ever play the game and one of the most iconic baseball videos in history. Let's look at that 715th home run from Hank Aaron.
1 ball and no strikes. Aaron waiting. The outfield deep and straight away. Fastball is a high drive into deep left center field. Buckner goes back to the fence. It is gone. For baseball, what a marvelous moment for Atlanta and the state of Georgia. What a marvelous moment for the country and the world. A black man is getting a standing ovation in the Deep South for breaking a record of an all-time baseball idol. And it is a great moment for all of us, and particularly for Henry Aaron, who was met at home plate not only by every member of the Braves, but by his father and mother. He threw his arms around his father, and as he left the home plate area, his mother came running across the grass, threw her arms around his neck, kissed him for all she was worth.
My favorite part of that video, and this has been the case since I was a kid, Starsky and Hutch running up to him as he's, rounding the bases, slapping him on the back in that ugly brown leather jacket. I expected, to look out and see the Ford Torino from Starsky and Hutch in center field. Love that video. Iconic. Love this 8.0, baby. 8.0, Hank Aaron, 715. This box is crushing it so far. Let's just keep this going. Let's keep this going. I'm killing it right now. Killing it. Okay. Whew. Next up. Okay. Hey, still not bad. Another Mickey Mantle? Another Mickey Mantle? Yeah, Mickey Mantle. 6.5 on this one. So this is Sport Magazine from August 1960. Pop reports, there's one at 9.4, one at 9.2, 3 at 8.0. This one at 6.5 is a fair grade. There's an incredible amount of staining on the back that just was not going to come out, so that's why we're sitting at this one. Okay, so different story. Last one we talked about Mickey Mantle at the end of his career, 1969. This is Mickey Mantle in the prime of his career, 1960. He started slow that year, was only batting .228 in June, but finished strong, was the AL leader in home runs scored. Yankees win the pennant that year. They lost in the World Series to Roberto Clemente and the Pittsburgh Pirates in a 7-game World Series. Fascinating about 1960. Mickey Mantle started both All-Star games in 1960. I was a grown man. I was in my late 40s. When I found out there was a period of time when Major League Baseball played 2 All-Star games a year. Happened for 4 seasons from 1959 to 1962. Is that right? Yeah, 59, 60, 61, 62. That's 4. 4 seasons where they played 2 All-Star games, and it was strictly for the money. So they played that extra All-Star game so that there would be more revenue that went to the players' pension fund. Only lasted 4 years, but in 1960, Mickey Mantle played and started in both All-Star games in 1960. Not bad. I projected that at 6.5, so right in line. Got 2 left, so rock solid vintage box so far. Highlight easily that 8.0 Hank Aaron 715 issue. One of the most iconic Sports Illustrated issues of all time. Just fantastic. Okay. Man, it's going to be tough to grade. Look at all that black ink on the back. That looks a little brutal. Let's hope we get a good grade here. 7.5. Box continues to deliver for me. This box continues to deliver. You are looking at the top pop of this issue. Tied. So there's 2 at 7.5. Not real happy about that aspect, but I'll take a top pop. Willie Mays, Sport Magazine, came out in September 1966. There are now 2 at 7.5. There's 1 at 6.0, a few others out there. In 1966, Willie Mays became the all-time home run leader for the National League, breaking Mel Ott's record of 511. So that was really kind of the focus of this issue because he had just broken it a couple of months before this came out. 24-time All-Star. Ties him for second all-time. We just talked about who's number 1, Hank Aaron. 24-time All-Star. It's tied for second for all-time with Stan Musial. He was only won 1 World Series. That's it. 1 World Series in his career. It's in 1954, and he has one of the most memorable and iconic baseball videos of all time. Let's take a look at it right now. Willie Mays and the catch.
There's a long drive way back in center field. Way back. It is. Willie Mays just brought this crowd to its feet with a catch, which must have been an optical illusion to a lot of people.
And Willie Mays gave this crowd of 52,751 an unforgettable sight. Wirtz pounds the next pitch over Willie Mays' head, but there goes Willie. And he makes a miraculous catch as he stops a step short of the wall.
Of course, that catch famously happened in the 1954 World Series, where the Giants won Willie Mays' only World Series win. Just love this issue. 7.5, beautiful looking shot. Got a nice little smile going on there. The Say Hey Kid, Willie Mays on Sport Magazine from 1960 at 7.5. We are doing very well. Okay, last one. This is the biggest one in the box. Kind of works out that way all the time. Seems like it always works out that way. Like the biggest one, the most important one is always the last one. This has already been a good box. Oh boy, okay. I closed my eyes as I moved it so I didn't see the grade. Packing slip, left-handed, Jordan. Made it again. Man, I'm on a good run with them packing slips in my trash can here in the office. That's a good sign. That means that we've got good mojo going into the grade reveal here for the last issue, the most important one I have in this box of 5 vintage issues. Now, I can tell you this is not going to be a top pop, nowhere near it. In fact, when I run through the pop reports, you may be pretty shocked at the results, but because there's a lot of big grades in this issue, especially for being as old as it is. Whew, let's take a look. Back looks pretty clean. Oh, yeah, again, beating my projection. Teddy Ballgame, first cover with a beautiful 7.5. Oh, it says first Ted Williams cover. CGC, you got one right this time, and you nailed the slab label, which you should. Acting like you did something special. You just did what you were supposed to do. And it says first Ted Williams cover. Right there. That's a beautiful 7.5 newsstand. Ted Williams, first cover. August 1st, 1955. Okay, 1955. This piece is 70 years old. Magazines have only been graded for the last several years or whatever. So it's not like people were getting these graded in the 70s. Look at these, listen to these pop reports. There are 3 at 9.8. There are 5 at 9.6. There are 6 at 9.4. Big population counts for such high grades for a 70-year-old issue of a massive superstar. First cover, maybe, just maybe, visually, one of the most beautiful first covers in all of Sports Illustrated history. I mean, look at him in that home Red Sox uniform, his white, he's taking a knee, he's like in the on-deck circle, got 2 bats in his hand, got that big Teddy Ballgame smile going on right there. This issue is awesome. And I could go into Ted Williams stats and career achievements and all that stuff, but you can see that anywhere. What I love, and the story that I love the most about Ted Williams, is that he accomplished all these things. 500 home run hitter, one of the greatest. I think he retired with a batting average of 344, one of the greatest hitters in baseball history. All of these stats, amazing, incredible. He did it all, taking 2 massive breaks in his career to fight in World War II and in the Korean War. I mean, just what a badass. So let's go through this. He served in World War II and then again in Korea. He was a Navy pilot in World War II. In Korea, flew 39 combat missions and was John Glenn's wingman. Literally his wingman. I'm not talking about going to the bar and picking up chicks and I'm going to help you nail some broad. No, I'm talking about flying airplanes. Next to John Glenn, I'm your wingman flying the airplane next to you. That sort of wingman, Top Gun type wingman stuff. John Glenn, who of course, famous, American hero, astronaut, senator from the state of Ohio, astronaut again as a senior citizen, called him one of the greatest pilots that he's ever seen. I love the fact that Ted Williams accomplished all of this while interrupting his career twice and serving his country twice. So let's take about, this is a video from a really good ESPN Ted Williams documentary that talks about his military service.
He did see combat. He flew scores of missions and had this one harrowing experience.
I got down too low and I got hit with small ground fire and I started a little fire going.
The plane was on fire. I mean, you cannot imagine a more dangerous situation. If you were going to follow the strict protocol, he should have bailed out.
But he didn't want to do that.
He was afraid that if he ejected, he would cap his knees and never be able to play again. So he determined that he was going to land this thing.
But he was heading the wrong way.
Luckily, one of the guys on the mission flew up right alongside him, could tell that he was out of radio, and so they were doing hand signals.
Without him, I'm not so sure I'd have got back into K-13 or 14 where the hell I landed.
And making it even worse, the landing gear was stuck. The wheels wouldn't come down.
I was scared, certainly I was scared, and I was mad. If I get scared, I'm mad.
He gets mad and he looks to the sky.
I said, oh, for the goddamn Christ, it's the time old Teddy Ballgame needs you.
If you're up there, now would be a good time to help me.
I don't think I had 10 seconds more in the air before things flew apart.
And he skids and fires coming out.
Skidded to a stop finally at the very end of the runway. Jumped out of the plane and the thing burst into flames. He was unbelievable.
He was literally a superhero. He was like Captain America. I mean, is there anything more American than this guy? Playing baseball in the major leagues for one of the greatest franchises ever in the Boston Red Sox and winning World Series and one of the greatest hitters in the 500 home run club. And oh yeah, by the way, I flew Navy fighter jets in World War II and the Korean War, 39 combat missions in the Korean War. He's just everything American. It's just the best. You are an American badass. Ted Williams, salute to you, and a big salute to that 7.5 newsstand copy. Rock solid box. Loved everything about this. It was a ton of fun. If you're interested in my magazine and comic cleaning and pressing service, you drop a comment here on YouTube or you find me on social media. If you haven't heard, I'm on every platform. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, eBay. I'm everywhere. Just find me there. Shoot me a DM. I'll send you all the details. I'm back to making more YouTube videos on the regular. I'm trying to do 3 a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So hopefully that'll continue for as long as it can. And appreciate you watching like you do every time. Thank you very much.